It's Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for Sunday slot car fun, and it's something that I do every Sunday and even Saturday. I usually shoot this on Saturday, but you see it on Sunday, so yeah, it's a slot car weekend. It usually is when I'm home from the studio, and especially since I don't have grandchildren, I'm able to do this. The track. As I talk about it, I'm going to cut in some clips of my working on this track. I decided to, as a Christmas present to myself, to go to, I went to Ventura Hobbies to see Vern Morseman there, my friend who owns and runs that hobby store, the only one in Ventura. If he wasn't there, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be, you know, I mean, he carries slot car stuff. He carries Scale-electric, which is great because his prices are the same or less than most places, and I can just drive over there, and I did that, and I bought a whole bunch of extra track because I went through the box that the original set came in, and there was a hairpin set up in there and a bunch of track I wasn't even using. I went, oh geez, so let's add another $140 worth of track to it and see what we got. And what we got is I went from 27 feet to 41 feet of track. Now my length and my width are still the same, but now instead of taking 4.5 seconds to get around the track, it takes double that, 8.5 seconds. Although I found that this NSR Porsche here got around in 6.5 seconds. These cars are amazing, and I will show you some of that later. But, so the show doesn't get terribly long. I want to show you some clips of tearing up the track and making a mess, and then having it all work. So, you all know my track, but look what's happening down here. There's a hairpin in there, and that's on over there, and all that's gone. And I'm slowly but surely making the track that I designed in Ultimate Racer 3.0. And so far, so good. It's actually sticking to the computer, and I'm going to keep going and see how far I get tonight. It's kind of late. The grandchildren are watching television, and I snuck out here. It's always a challenge working with plastic track and doing this. I mean, I've had to rip up so much stuff, but I'll be able to fix it all. What I found is, as I got it all to connect, and I even ran a car on the track, but it wasn't connecting well because the gap suppression was too severe. It was causing the tracks to part in some places. Now the track's all together nice and smooth. It's late at night. For me, it's 9 o'clock. It's time to go in and go to bed. But what I determined is I was very good in calculating with the track program, Racer, Ultimate Racer 3.0. It was extremely accurate, and the only place I'm off is right there. You can see it. I need, and you can see it right there, a quarter track, 1 quarter track section. So I ended up wasting no track whatsoever that I had, except I will end up with this half straight. That's all. And I'm going to replace it with a quarter straight, which means I'll have 2 quarter straights too, but that's okay. This is going to fit perfectly, and I've got a much bigger track. In fact, this is 41 feet of track now. Well, welcome back to my nightmare. I think this is day 3. I'm starting to lose track. This place is a mess. I mean, look at it. Just god-awful bits and pieces of track everywhere, and soldering irons, a heater to keep me warm during the day. There's stuff here from Electric Dreams I haven't even looked at yet. And over here, and I'm still having things come apart, is the track, which is starting to look pretty darn good. I had a lot of issues over there with the cars wanting to come off and go down into the hole behind there, which I call the spider pit appropriately. And there was another one over here, because when I change the track, then it changes everything. And you can see that there's a gap there. And but the track is pretty smooth. I'm about to vacuum it Yeah, vacuum it up, clean it, then actually clean the track because I tried running a car on it and it's just slippering all over the place, which means there's lots of, lots of dust. Yep. So, but you know, the hairpin, everything worked out pretty well. And somewhere I have gap suppression problems, and it manifested itself here. When I try to push these together, then it causes it down here. And then when I try to push those together, it causes it over here, and then it caused it here. So, this is the lesser of two evils. And when I run, or is that two weevils? For those of you who like Master and Commander as much as I do. So it doesn't seem to affect anything. I don't have a dead spot. The car's running perfectly smooth through there, so be it. There's really a lot to do this track. What has to happen is later this year, this track needs to completely come off again. I need to get rid of all of that. I need to build the plywood table and then put it all back again. So everything's level, and plus it can roll out so I can get to stuff on the other side there. I can't reach over there. That is a really hard spot to get to. So that's going to happen later this year. But for now, I should be running okay. So let's clean it up and get some cars running on it.
So that was cool, wasn't it? I mean, you know, I still have a lot to do. I've got to put back all the trees. I got a box of trees, because I like little trees too, Dave. And just put some more garnish on it, and no more cows. I got plenty of cows, and do all that. But you know, as it always is with these tracks, it's an ongoing thing. The other thing I wanted to talk about was I got this, which is the Revoslot Jägermeister Porsche 911. I believe this is a 911. Isn't that a 911? It is. So this is a great car, and it was really, as all their cars are, a real organ grinder or coffee grinder, or it sounds like a bunch of squirrels in a tin can. You choose. But I found by adjusting the distance of the pinion to the crown gear and putting a bit of grease in there, it really quieted it down pretty nice, and I'll show you how that runs as well. So that was about it, really. I mean, this week I don't have a lot to cover. I did want to talk about racing, and I hate to bring it up, the dreaded C word. No, not that C word, COVID. My doctor, I'm about to become 70 years old very soon, and he's very concerned about me being in public events where people say, yes, I'm vaccinated, don't worry about me, without any real evidence to the contrary, or they've been tested. And so he's asked me not to go any more slot car races. Now, this is a personal choice. I am not criticizing people who are continuing on to have events, whether they have proof of being vaccinated or not, which they're not doing in most cases, or they're not wearing masks, or they are wearing masks. I mean, this is your choice, okay? My choice is to wait till this is all over with and play it safe, because I cannot afford to get sick. I run a studio. People depend on me. I'm filling orders all the time for masks, and pretty soon this year, slot cars, bodies, and body kits, and track decorations, or you know, little houses, and oh yes, I'm going to do tire barriers, and I'm going to be doing them in latex, because I work with latex all the time in the movie business, making monsters and masks, and I figured out a way that I can make latex tire barriers that'll be painted black, and when you hit them, they're soft, just like real tires. So that's going to be kind of a neat deal. I know we need track barriers out there, and I have the tech to do it. So I'm going to be doing that and a lot of other stuff. So I have a real responsibility in the studio, and I can't be reckless. And I don't want to give something to someone else, because I'm vaccinated and boosted. And in my daily travels, just going to the store, even though I wear a mask and I wash my hands after I come out of the store, I wash my hands when I use the gas pump, I have sanitizer everywhere, I could still have it on me somewhere and give it to you. And I don't want to give it to you, okay? Because that just wouldn't make me real happy. So I'm out of racing until further notice, but hey, I got a great track right here at home, and so I'll be on this plenty. And almost forgot, I can still do outdoor RC racing at our local field. And I have a local field 15 minutes from here called the Roadrunner Field. It has a dirt track and it has an asphalt track for racing Can-Am style cars. This one's a rally car, VW that I'm working on. I got for myself for Christmas. Aren't I a lucky boy? And so this is a lovely Tamiya VW Rally 4-wheel drive, really nice kit. And so I'm building that slowly but surely. And then I have this, which is a race legal F104 Tamiya Pro 2 with the brushless setup in it, and everything on this is roar legal. So I've been practicing. I'm going over tomorrow to practice on the track, and I'm actually getting good at it, finally. Maybe they'll let me race with them. And I also have this little beauty. Now, this is not roar legal. I could make it roar legal, but I just basically enjoy the old vintage Formula One cars, and I love running this on the track, but it's also good practice. So I'm able to do that type of racing, and it's outdoors. So thank goodness for that. In my flying, that's outdoors. And I still wear a mask, even outdoors. I'm not taking any chances, so I don't want to get sick, and that's the last thing I want to do. And it doesn't just mean COVID, it means the flu, a cold, or anything else. Because when you get older, it takes you down hard. And you'll remember back about a month or so ago, something took me down hard. It was bad. I don't want it again. I don't know what it was. Allegedly, it was a cold I got from the grandchildren, but it wasn't like any cold I experienced. So now I got that off my chest. I want to thank you all for the support. It's been amazing. I'm up to, what is it, 3,961 subscribers. That's amazing. And it's not all from slot cars. It's because you enjoy seeing my career work, the monsters, the creatures, the models I've made for movies, the stuff I'm still building like that. And I have a lot of cool stuff coming up on our other show, which is called SNG Shorts, where I do a lot of stuff from movies, collectible things, stuff like that. You guys have been populating my YouTube channel like nobody's business. I really, really appreciate all your kind comments. Some of the things you say are so flattering, I turn red. Really, guys, you're really sweet. Thank you. And thank you for the support at Patreon. You guys are wonderful over there. You've been steady supporters for years now. And now, of course, I have Buy Me a Coffee, which also some of you are starting to populate. All this goes towards keeping the studio active. Despite the orders I get and everything else, there's a lot of overhead to having a 2,000 foot square studio now for 9 years. And making these videos and the equipment and everything, my time that goes into it. So when you contribute, you're contributing to that and you're keeping us going, and Mary and I greatly appreciate it. So let's do some track runs around the track, and we'll see you next Sunday. So we got the GoPro on. I'm hoping to get a few different angles. I'm going to clean these tires first because it gets dirty so fast. And so here's the Porsche. So we got Revo slot and we've got the Porsche. And I guarantee you the Revo slot will wipe this car out. I don't have the timer on right now because my phone's in the house and I do timing on the laps, but you'll get the idea. You can just tell watching it. So here we go. So we go with the Porsche first, which is, the tires are not as good on the Revo slot as they are on NSR. Still, I get around the track pretty well. Nice slide there, nice drift. One more lap here. That was way too hard coming in off the straight. Nice slide there. Out we go. Okay, so now let's see how well the NSR does. You can tell I really like these NSRs. Well, first thing you're going to hear is that it's much faster. Not only that, it's quieter. It really is quiet. I mean, this thing just really moves, and that is not straight out of the box. Of course, I tuned it, but even out of the box, it did really well. So, well, that was too much. The hairpin takes some getting used to. I'm still getting used to it, but I do like it. When you hit it just right, it's pretty amazing. I did not hit it right. Let's try that again, because any second now, you're going to start getting really bored. I'm not, because there we go. That was the way we do it. Okay, so you can see how well these cars do on this track, but I'm going to show you something else. This is a George Turner Lotus 40, and boy, do I ever like this car. You're going to see why. These tires from Pendle, I'm yelling like the mic's over there. I keep forgetting I have a lavalier on. Forgive me. Nice Sennheiser, and I'm yelling. But anyway, whatever the tires are I get from Pendle, as far as I can tell, they appear to be rubber, and they certainly smell like rubber. And I'm telling you, these tires stick like nobody's business. Look at this. You hardly ever see it fishtail, not even to the hairpin or drift. And I'm going at a pretty good clip for this car. We finally got it. Anyway, try it again. I did not clean the tires either, and it's sticking this well. Now, we're going to do a scale electric car. And a scale electric car I really love. I mean, not too many people make a nice Jaguar C ready to go straight out of the box. Or is this a D? You know, it is a D. See, I knew I was wrong. And I love the headlights. I love the livery. It's a classic car. It's pretty darn scale. They did everything right. The tires are pretty bad on it, that you know, I can replace them. But if I just drive slow and scale speeds, it's fine. I mean scale speeds. There's a hole there I gotta fix. I'm doing very poorly with this car, but isn't it fun? Okay. This is another car of George Turner's, the BRM from the 1950s. Wonderful kit. Love building this car. It's using his frame and everything. Again, the tires are amazing from Pendle. That is a really good handling car. I mean, you just can't beat it. And I built everything stock from his kit, and it's just terrific. You should all try one of his kits, at least one. I've got several. And then now we're going to go back as a comparison to, which is really not fair. Where is it? Where's the Lotus Cortina? You never get so many cars that you can't find them even when they're right in front of you? Okay, then you're doing well. This is the Lotus Cortina. Again, scale electric. Livery is wonderful, very scale. I used to own this car and miss it terribly. And I'll bring it closer for those of you that are not familiar with the Lotus Cortina. You should be, because this car, with the right driver, will beat just about anything in its class. Even two-seaters. Okay, I know, I've done it personally. This car also has the original tires on them. I trued them up a bit. They're dirty right now, but it's so much fun to drive because it just drifts so well when you aren't a dork like I'm being right now. And, here we go. Just, go too excited, Steve. So you could make improvements on this car for sure. But, you know, I'm not going to spend too much time with it. I like it just the way it is, just to have fun. So, anyway, that was some cars to run that was really fun to drive. Oh, well, a lot of you have been asking about the T71 Cooper. And yes, I'm retooling this car molds this year so that you can also have a lovely Cooper using a Bear Dog frame from Chris Wright and a few other parts from Pendle. So this car, I did not clean the tires on or anything. I'm just going to run it. The first thing you're going to notice is how quiet it is. And it doesn't like this hairpin very much at all. Actually, what it is it's the slot guide. It sticks, so I have to fix that every time on there, and I don't know why. Well, yeah, I do know why. It sticks over to the right too much. Also, very fast for being one of those little small motors. I'm going to get through here this time without that happening. See, I did it. It's just so quiet. It's just amazingly quiet. Really nice car. So, okay, I bored you enough. I'm not bored. I'm going to turn this thing off and keep playing with this. So, I'm glad. That's really it for the show.